All right, guys, we are rolling now, and welcome back to the JoeSicaTalk, your neighborhood source for everything Joe Sica related and all sorts of conversation topics. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Wonderful, other than the fact that my new webcam isn't working.
Yes, so this episode is going to be slightly shorter, though longer than the last episode because we're still having technical difficulties. We'll see if
Although
we
we never
can.
solve this,
We'll
we
see.
never solve the technical difficulties. As every week there's a new thing.
Yeah,
That's
there's just always a new thing. We'll see if we can get the technical difficulties sorted out by season 6 or so.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good goal.
I think we might be able to get there. So,
We're 3 weeks in now, right?
this is our third episode, yes.
That's pretty awesome.
So if you are just tuning in, welcome. If you've actually watched our other dribble, thank you very much. And we hope you stay with us for life.
Forever and ever and ever.
Buy all of our shit.
Because we're going to be friends forever.
So this podcast is about us three good friends who do everything together, except we live across the country from each other. So this is us staying in touch with all sorts of new updates, news-related things, personal, sexual information.
Non-sexual.
And
Matt and I might as well live across the country from one another, even though we're only an hour away. But I see Andy more often than I see Matt.
I think that that's probably true, and I think that I see probably like Eric more than like you guys also.
You see Eric? Does Eric?
Oh no,
come on to
actually, I
San
guess you
Francisco?
probably see Eric more than I do. I'm always amazed
see
though,
Eric.
because every time I come home, like everyone says like they haven't seen anyone else, and I'm like, you guys live like 20 minutes away from each other.
Well, I haven't seen Josh since he got married, I think.
I've seen him like
That's been a
once.
year.
I saw him.
You
Like,
saw? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's got like a wife and a dog now and stuff,
yeah,
kids,
he's got a full
and a
family.
house. Yeah.
So, before we dive in here, anyone have anything that they want to say? Is that a no? Okay, moving on.
So, note for next week. Don't ask us
Don't
if there's
ask
stuff we
that
want to
question.
say.
So I'm going to get started with this story that I heard, which is the most ridiculous story I've heard in a little while. It was covered, like I saw it online, someone else was talking about it, but it's too crazy not to talk about, and I think it's the perfect story for this podcast. So Anheuser-Busch, like the biggest, like America's beer company, former CEO Augustus Busch the Fourth. I don't know who the current CEO is, possibly Augustus Busch the Fifth, but this story is about the fourth. I don't know. I didn't look up his whole history. I don't know when he left Anheuser-Busch, but apparently he landed his helicopter in like a semi-residential area, just in like a kind of a small parking lot. And people were looking out their windows like, what the hell is going on? And eventually the cops got called because they thought that the helicopter was going to take off again, and it looked like it was going to hit a building or be really dangerous or something. So the cops arrive on the scene, and they find the pilot of the aircraft to be incredibly intoxicated. And it turns out that Mr. Augustus Busch the Fourth's helicopter was full of prescription pills, and he made an emergency landing because he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to keep control of the aircraft. And on top of being out of his mind on pills, which I guess running a beer company you need to keep moving up to get that buzz. He was accompanied in the helicopter by his wife and 8 dogs.
Oh my gosh. When did this happen?
It was like, I think like a couple weeks ago now.
No.
So like, I was just amazed to hear this. This must have been like there was a party going on in this helicopter. It's got 8 dogs, prescription pills, and to make it even better, he had loaded weapons in the helicopter.
Is this Texas? Tell me this is Texas.
Do I have that written down? I don't know offhand where it was, but that wouldn't surprise me if it was Texas.
It sounds like the guy was on the run.
It sounds like Grand Theft Auto, the life of the rich and the famous. But the last I've heard, there hasn't been any sort of actions pressed against him. But I just thought that was a good light-hearted story for y'all.
I've never heard that, and I didn't. I mean, they sold to Belgium, right? So
I think so.
Busch, Anheuser Busch, or Budweiser did. So
yeah, it's pretty crazy. Which I was curious, like, Busch is Anheuser Busch, and Busch is like the crappy version of Budweiser. But Busch is their last name, so why would you want to brand your last name as like the crappier beer?
I think it's old. I think that I attended a class in college at a bar, and it was like the economics of American beer, and they basically talked about how, like, when we were younger, well, basically nowadays you get your information from like everywhere. You just can get it from your phone or the internet or Facebook or whatever. BuzzFeed doesn't. You get information from everywhere. But back in the day, everyone watched the same 3 TV channels, and they listened to the same radio stations. So like what people heard on the radio and TV, they thought was like it was fact. So there was no way to like check your references. So basically like the Diamond campaign, like Diamonds Are Forever, and that's a big marketing sham. It's like the most successful marketing campaign of all time. Well, it turns out American beer is the same way, because if you go over to Europe, they have all these darker, headier, like hoppier, more flavorful drinks. And then in the 30s, 40s, and 50s or whatever, they're like, well, what if we could get people to drink this like piss water beer and tell them that they like it, because that's the way good beer should be. And they're basically like, they had these marketing campaigns that were like, real men drink, Busch. And so like they ran these marketing campaigns, and they basically changed the way Americans look at beer, and it's just about like, you mow your lawn and then you have a nice tall cold Budweiser, So
and you're Greg Schreiber.
Exactly.
It's genius.
So it's kind of just like, they're like, we want to be able to make cheap beer. They make it as fast and as cheap as possible. It's like light, cheap, watery beer, and that's the way it kind of developed to be like what we drink. So.
Well, it worked out for them.
That's what I heard in the economics of beer class I attended.
That's actually pretty interesting. Like,
yeah, I thought that.
Kind of what I got from what you just said is that like Americans are so self-conscious that they drink piss water just to seem more macho.
Basically we're just a consumer economy, and if marketers tell us it's good, if you are told that fidget spinners are must-have objects, then you gotta go get a fidget spinner or whatever. So, I mean, or like all sorts of stuff from China. I mean, if you're interested in buying some stuff from China, I know a place to go.
I know a place too.
It's funny that you say that, Tyler, because I watched something today about the misconception that. Did anybody else hear that ringing sound?
I kind of do. It sounded like you might have just hit your microphone a little bit. I think it's good.
Oh, okay. There was this misconception from that lasted from the 30s or 40s until recently, that uh, fat is actually good for you in food, and all that was like a marketing campaign from like the sugar industry to make it so that fat is bad but sugar is good.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Um, so like, I mean, like a lot of fat is still not good for you, but like sugar is definitely not good for you, like in copious amounts. So
Sure.
I heard that today, but it's like one of those things that like is carried over for decades, and you know we're still kind of being suckered into like the things that we consume and things that we buy are like still like kind of like I don't know. I don't know.
No, yeah, it's like you see low fat all the time, low fat salad dressing, low fat whatever. It's like there's there's like sugar in salad dressing that you get at McDonald's,
Yeah.
you know. So
And like cocaine and other things.
yeah, whatever fillers they throw in there.
Yeah, that's really interesting. We really are kind of like a semi-brainwashed, like, capitalist society. Like, that reminds me of, like, what I learned about, I don't remember exactly the specifics, but one of the biggest, like, genius marketing campaigns was, like, Marlboro cigarettes. And,
For sure.
like,
7 out of 10 doctors smoke a Marlboro after diagnosing a patient.
yeah.
Whatever.
And I forgot the guy's name, but he came up with because at first it was very male centered, and then he came up with a way to market it towards women, and yeah, I don't remember exactly how he did that, but he got like someone famous like James Fonda or some, I don't know, and then after that they just like took over for like decades, and it's like
hmm
I think smoking might be making a comeback too. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just
They
'cause
say
I'm
it's down, but I don't know.
it might
I think
just
we're just at that age.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm in the city too. Like a lot of the people here smoke.
Yeah.
Side thing also though, I think dyed hair is making a comeback. Have you guys noticed that?
Well, because of hair wax, temporary hair wax.
Yeah,
Or you mean like light, like bleached?
like bleached or just like colored. Like I feel like 95 was a big year for like dyed hair, and then it got with like the
95?
yeah like 90 to 95 was kind of like that punk scene a little bit.
I mean, I was still 4. You were probably 7 or 8 at that point, so you might remember a little better than I do.
Well, I would
But
say
I don't.
2000, but I feel like that's kind of after it, and that we just saw.
No, I think it's right around then. Because think about Justin Timberlake with the ramen noodle hair. And
That's
then,
true.
You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, so 2000, but like I'm seeing more hair dye now again. It's like coming back, I think.
Well, like the gray hair. That
Adrian, I don't think it ever really went away.
Maybe it's all in my head.
you're in San Francisco
Well,
now.
That is true too. But I think
Well,
before I
the
moved, I
thing is,
noticed it.
I've always noticed girls like dye their hair, not really guys anymore, but I mean like because when you're like little kids, like and we're like young adults now, but when we were little kids, we didn't notice people were dyeing their hair because we didn't know that they were dyeing their hair. You know, where'd Tyler go?
I don't know. He
I'm
dropped.
coming. I'm coming.
Oh,
I'm listening.
he's still on. So
Yeah.
I remember you bleached your hair, Tyler.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely did.
And if I had a picture of that, I would throw it up right now, but I don't think I do. But I kind of always secretly wanted to have bleached hair,
I'll bet you did.
but like, it feels
Andrew,
too.
you look so good with bleach hair.
Are you asking us permission to bleach
No,
your
no,
hair?
I'm too self-conscious to. I think, like, I think I would look pretty terrible. But like
I think you should do the gray
little
hair.
piece of me does kind of want to. But I would have to shave it off like the next day.
I saw a kid at this wedding yesterday. He's 15, and you gotta look to the youth for trends. But he had, he had his sides are shaved, and then he had like a little flow on the top, and like his tips were frosted. So
Oh,
I have
frosted
to say
tips.
that.
That
Yeah.
that goes back.
That's extreme.
That's extreme.
And he had like an Odd Future shirt on, so I'm like, okay, he's like a little bit in touch from at least what I think is in touch, because I'm probably out of touch.
I must be in touch, but I don't know. I think I'm like confused most of the time.
I also believe that is a possibility.
I think you're very confused.
So this week's all about frosted tips.
Yeah, I mean, I can keep going with frosted tips.
Oh my god.
I went to I'm surrounded by all this like healthy food now. I don't know if Jamba Juice exists on the East Coast or not. I don't remember ever hearing of it, but it's like a smoothie type place.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, no, we've
Okay.
done the juice.
Well, I went there for the first time like a couple days ago, and I got a smoothie with like kale in it and all sorts of like this healthy crap. But it actually tasted pretty good. But I went online afterwards, and it was still like 500 calories and like 600 grams of sugar. Like I don't know if it's actually healthy. I think that is probably like going back to the marketing thing.
It depends on like what kind of sugar, because like fruit has good, like it has a lot of sugar in it, but it's
True.
still better for you than the processed, bleached white granulated white sugar,
The frosted tip sugar.
the frosted tip sugar. Yeah. So I mean, there's a ton of sugar in watermelon or strawberries, but it's still healthy for you.
I also tried, I'm in like experimental mode or something. I went to Starbucks and they have this new coffee that's it's like
Is it
Starbucks
frosted?
draft. So it's like out of a keg or something.
You're yuppie AF now.
Yeah, dude. I'm huge
Just
yuppie.
living the urban lifestyle and
I was wearing
going
like
to Starbucks.
I wore flip-flops
Do you
until I got like blisters on my toes, dude.
Starbucks? Getting a Starbucks?
Yeah.
Going down to the old Starbucks?
Well, they don't have Dunkin' Donuts here, really, which kind of sucks.
It's crazy because America runs on Dunkin'.
I know.
Yeah.
I like me some
It's
Dunkin'.
like you're not even in America.
But
You're
yeah,
not an American if you don't drink a Dunkin' Donuts on the way to work. Which is probably the same with the coffee campaign it is the beer campaign. It's like we're gonna make light wheat coffee so we can spread these beans out. And
that's why I drink instant coffee, man.
oh yeah.
Oh god. Dude,
Wait,
that
so what?
That
Huh?
stuff is like thick like molasses. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
it's gritty too. It's chunky.
It's the real stuff.
It's just like drinking crowns.
After it's passed through some frozen nitrogen. Mm.
Is that what they do?
I don't know. They like instant freeze it somehow.
is there an instant coffee place in San Francisco that you go to?
Actually, like drugstores are a good place to get instant coffee. Grocery stores have it, but I find that their selection isn't as good a lot of time.
Just get a dude. When I was over at your apartment, it literally took you like 20 minutes to make instant coffee.
That's not
You're-
true. It takes 2 minutes. You just have to warm
You
up
were
the
like
water.
sitting there stirring. You had to like get water out. I just thought like, man, the amount of time it took him to make instant coffee, could have just got like a regular pot of coffee going.
Made non-instant coffee.
I suppose if I heated them up one at a time, that's probably true. I don't recall the incident at question here. But I like me some instant coffee. You get 100 cups for $5.
So it's a cost thing. It's clearly not a taste thing. I know that.
Yeah, it's a cost thing. I don't care what my coffee tastes like.
It's a utility.
I need
Yeah,
to
it
have
is.
I need to have like 2 cups. I don't want to spend like $8 a day on that. So I drink shit.
So what'd you get at Starbucks?
Oh yeah,
that you
so
were
at Starbucks they have this Starbucks draft, which the best way I can describe it is it's basically a Guinness, but it's coffee.
Ooh.
It was pretty dang good, and I'm kind of confused as to what it is, but yeah, go out and give it a shot if you go past the Starbucks. I am recording this in a different aspect ratio for this session, which I think might work out better. And the window is not full screen, so I think I might be able to drag in windows if we need to look anything up. This is something I'm trying out, and I think it might work better, so hopefully it does. So, continuing on, I saw a YouTube video a few days ago, which greatly intrigued me. I know you guys have probably heard of Jenna Marbles.
Yeah.
Sure. She's kind of like, she's been around for a while now.
Yeah, she's been on YouTube for a long time. Well, her like boyfriend his name is like Julian, and I don't know exactly what his last name is. It's like Salamita, but Julian is part of this. It looks like it's only been going on for a few weeks now. Relatively new YouTube show called Last Minute Trips, and he does it with another guy. I didn't write down the guy's name. And they get on like Skype Live and they put it on YouTube Live, and they throw a dart at a map of the United States, and where it hits, they get on like Expedia while they're still broadcasting live, and they book a plane ticket they buy a plane ticket.
Plane.
And then the live section ends, and it's followed up by like an edited video where they actually go to the place, and this is all in one day, or like a weekend maybe. So they book these trips last minute, and then they just go someplace. Anyways, I thought it was cool, and that is something that that's like podcast goals for me right there. And I think that sounds like something that Tyler would want to do, because he was planning to do something similar to that, I think.
Heck yeah. What's Julian's last name, or what's the name of the show?
It's called Last Minute Trips.
You know, Tyler, she's from Rochester.
I heard that she lived in Rochester, but she's not. Or is she?
She could be. I don't even know who you guys are talking about.
Jenna Marbles.
Jenna Marbles. She
really?
lived in... Maybe she grew up here.
I didn't know that.
Look that up, Matt. Fact check.
Marbles was born and raised in Rochester, New York. When she graduated from Brighton High School in 2004.
That's where I live, Brighton.
Really?
Moved to...
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Tyler, you're on your way to being the next...
Jenna Marbles.
So maybe...
Andrew, we were talking about dyed hair. Have you seen pictures of her?
She
is like...
Yeah.
Did you just watch a lot of Jenna Marbles this week and talk about this shit?
I actually did not watch
Did
any
she have
Jenna
a video
Marbles.
on the new
I
Starbucks
watched.
string?
I watched. They have a podcast, and I started watching that just to see how their flow was, and they mentioned his show, and then I immediately clicked away and spent an hour watching that instead.
Here's the thing. You guys want to be famous YouTube stars, turn yourself into a woman, bleach your hair, and then do photo shoots.
Okay.
Half naked.
Is that why Andy wants to...
I'm halfway there already.
Yeah, that's why you want to dye your hair.
You're pretty basic, Andy. That's for sure.
This is the progression of us into YouTube whores.
Caitlin Baker.
Who?
Call me Caitlin.
Caitlin Baker.
He moved to the city, now he's a woman.
My son moved to the city and now he's cool.
Alright, I'm just crossing off here. Did you guys know
Topics?
that I was looking up some things? Gene Wilder passed away, but he used to live in Stamford, Connecticut.
Interesting.
Very close to where I lived, to the point where I pretty much drove past his house almost every day going to work. Kind of weird. Small world.
Well, I drive by the house of the Genesee River Strangler on a daily basis. So that's cool.
Is this true information?
This is, yeah. I watched a Netflix documentary with Meg. It's called Conversation with a Killer. It's pretty good.
I think I've heard of that.
We didn't even know that it was about a Rochester serial killer. And so we've heard of the Genesee River Strangler before, but we never watched it. So we watched the documentary, and I'm like, I know that house. It's right on Alexander Street.
That's our neighbor's house.
Yeah. That's our downstairs neighbor. No. So, so definitely I recommend checking it out. But I think Stanford's a big enough city that there's probably a lot of people that live there or still live there.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Maybe
just because it's
kind of down low. There's like a section of Stanford that's like a more city-like, and then once you get past like the Merritt Highway, it turns into like country, and there's just like tons of mansions back there, just like streets and rows of mansions. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember being in like the backwoods, going like 150 miles per hour down some like windy road, and like just trying to get down there.
Yeah.
Just because I would like get there super late at night, and Matt was with me half the time too.
Or Tim.
Or Tim. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's kind of a life goal, is to get Tim Schreiber back in Stamford, Connecticut.
I know. I don't even have like really any like desire to go there, but I would like to see Tim there again.
Yeah.
I saw Spider-Man Homecoming on Tuesday.
You did?
Yeah.
I just saw it like an hour ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did you think?
So you have an hour to go see a movie, but you don't have an hour to talk with us?
Nope.
Dude, the movie is like 2.5 hours.
I have so much work to do. I'm gonna go see Spider-Man.
The trilogy.
I went with my sister, okay? Fucking
You
I
what?
went with my sister.
Oh, nice. How's Joanna doing?
She's good.
What's her address?
Good talk.
Lives at home.
Oh, okay.
So, I think we even talked about him before, but is this the one that has Childish Gambino in it?
Yeah.
What?
Donald Glover.
He's like a minor character.
Oh. Gotcha.
Wow, I didn't even notice. Or I didn't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I gotta look that up now.
Iron Man is in it, though, right?
Yeah. And I don't know, what do you think, Matt? I think like too much so. I think it was like way too much in an Avengers movie.
No, I thought it was really, really like great.
Oh, you really liked it?
I hated every other Spider-Man thing. Like I thought this was like the best Spider-Man movie. Like
that's
Spider-Man he's supposed to be like a high schooler. Like they always had like grown men playing him.
Yeah.
And then also
that is a good point.
Andrew Garfield? Was Andrew Garfield older?
He was older.
He can kind of pass off as young, but he's like the guy that
if they made a third movie, he would have been pretty old.
Yeah.
I agree with that for sure. Like, this is the first Spider-Man that they have that, like, if they make it past a third movie, the Spider-Man won't be like 40 years old.
Yeah.
But
I always hate Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I mean, I loved it when it first came out because that was like the first superhero movie I ever saw. But Spider-Man's also supposed to be like charming and like funny, and like no other Spider-Man was actually funny. So.
What about the dance scene? The dance scene from third Spider-Man.
Well, that's creepy. That's not funny.
The third original Spider-Man was by far the worst Spider-Man that's ever existed. But
if not the worst superhero movie.
Yeah, it was really bad. But I have a different opinion than Matt. I liked the first two of the original. I thought they were pretty good. And then the Andrew Garfield ones, they were all right. I could kind of go with it. And I didn't like this one very much. But I'm open to it. I like Tom Holland. So we'll see where it goes, I guess.
All right.
I'm looking up Tom Holland.
You don't know who Tom Holland is?
No.
He's the biggest.
I've been so out of touch with movies.
He's the biggest movie star of the past 2 years. Heart of the Sea.
Really? What else did he do?
The Lost City of Z.
He was born in 1996.
So he's... Wait.
21.
Why did my math come out to 11?
Because you're 27.
Oh, wait. It's a decade
You're not
later than it
17.
is in my head.
Yes.
You're not 16, Andy.
Oh. Well, I've seen Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 3 with the Sandman and Venom, and which they casted Topher Grace, who's pretty much Tobey Maguire's celebrity lookalike, which makes no sense. I guess it does kind of make sense. Kind of.
I always
But
thought
anyway.
Jake Gyllenhaal and Tobey Maguire looked alike.
Yeah, they do actually.
They have like
There's-
that,
there's-
that
he's just
sad
kinda like
face.
There's a meme too. It's like people think that all white people don't look alike, but we do. We do pretty much.
Kind of, yeah.
But no, and then I never saw any of the Andrew Garfield ones.
Mm.
But the guy that's a stuntman for Andrew Garfield, his name's William Spencer, and he's a skateboarder,
Oh, really?
and that's why.
That
yeah,
must be
that's
why
part
there
of
was a
why.
skateboarding sequence in that movie. That's
what?
interesting. There was like a skateboarding sequence in that movie.
Oh yeah.
In the first one,
Yeah.
I think.
Yep, that's because of. Well, I think it's in part because of William Spencer.
Mm. I also like...
He does like.
I like
he does,
Emma
like, front
Stone, so
flips. Oh yeah, I like her too.
that might have been why I was somewhat partial to the Andrew Garfield ones. And it was kind of weird that like she died and then they never like visited that spider universe again. She's like, she died, everybody. All right, story's over.
Yeah. At the end,
The end.
and everyone lived happily ever after. What's her name? Mary Jane or something? No, that's the other one.
That's who Spider-Man is supposed to date. She was the one that is
Gwen
Peter
Stacy.
meets
Gwen
before.
Stacy.
Yeah, Gwen Stacy,
Gwen Stacy, right?
the superior version. What are you looking up, Matt?
Nothing.
Ah.
I'm just like having to Tyler like mistake everything about Spider-Man.
You look like you're like hacking into the Matrix right now, like all this
He's just like
information.
furiously punching in his keyboard because he knows that when I talk about the Marvel universe, it's like all
Yeah.
Captain Arabia and Steel Man.
I guess you haven't seen too many of the Marvel stuff, which I think is becoming overdone, kind of. There's like so many Marvel things right now.
Yeah, I thought that like in 2014. I saw the Avengers when that came out. It was awesome, and then I was like, all right, I'm good.
Tyler, what was the movie I made you see with me that you were like,
Oh, the one where the guy puts cheese on that girl's foot?
no, it was a Marvel movie. We saw it recently.
Is it weird that I think I know what you're talking about?
It was
Yeah, it's
Civil
like
War.
We saw Civil War together?
Yeah, it was like on my birthday, and you're like, "Fuck you, I don't want to see that movie."
No. No, I never saw Civil War. It was, you were like, the theater's going to be sold out. We have to get there 2 hours early. And we walked in, and literally it was us. Or, like, by the time the movie started, it was us and one other group of people. No, I'll tell you what it was. It was the movie with, like, it was Avengers 2. It was with the robot guy. Skeletron or something.
Scaredtron.
What? Skeletron.
It was the evil robot from Avengers 2.
Is there even
Darth Sidious.
Is there?
Well-
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
We're gonna watch me put together my oops.
That's not even correcting me.
He's given up.
Age of Ultron.
It's
Age of Ultron. Ultron. Yep. So you're gonna actually put your rig together?
In front, yeah.
Cool. This should be fun. You gotta do it in less than 7 minutes, though.
Okay.
If you can do it in less than 2 minutes, Maybe they'll like sponsor us or something.
Canon.
Yeah. I want to do like a product placement episode where we just have like as many product placements as possible.
I drew the title card for this week, just so you know.
Really?
Yeah, except I look like an old woman. I
Wait,
kind of do.
Does that mean that you drew yourself?
I drew what my screen looks like.
Oh, okay. Just now?
Yeah, I screenshot it. I sent it to you guys. Like the actual what we look like.
Oh, okay.
And then I drew the title card that looks like that screenshot.
I'm excited to see that.
So explain to us what you're doing, Matthew.
Right now I'm putting on the base plate to the camera.
What kind of camera is it?
It's a Canon C100 Mark II.
And what type of shoulder rig are we working with?
It's called a Shape. It's a Shape shoulder rig. It's specifically made for the Canon. I mean, like they make a lot of like types for other camera models, but I don't know.
That looks legit.
Kind of a bitch.
It's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
We'll edit that out. You can still sponsor us, Canon.
Please forgive Matt.
He didn't mean it.
So since last week, Chester Bennington committed suicide.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. I was wondering if I should talk about that or not. But
Well, didn't somebody die last week that we were talking about? I feel like someone dies every week.
yeah,
Chris Cornell.
Oh, we were talking about Chris Cornell?
yeah. So
No,
apparently
that wasn't last week, but
it was like 3 weeks ago or so.
yeah.
Apparently Chester killed himself on Chris's birthday
Yeah. I did see that.
because they were good friends. And I mean, Linkin Park's music was geared in large part towards like depressed people and stuff like that. So it's kind of
Makes sense.
sad. Yeah, but it kind of makes
Yeah, it is
sense.
then. Oh, I kind of do remember you saying, like, should we talk about it just because it happened? But,
Yeah.
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 But yeah, we should. It's something that people should talk about.
Yeah. Chester Bennington of Linkin Park, 41, and Chris was 52, and he was
Yeah,
from the band Soundgarden.
Soundgarden's a little older.
Yeah.
Like, Linkin Park was really big. I remember Ned was a huge Linkin Park fan.
Oh, really?
I mean, I liked the earlier stuff.
Yeah, I
But
liked
wasn't-
the earlier stuff.
I didn't. If you had said who's Chester Bennington a week ago, I wouldn't know who he is by name. But,
Yeah, I wouldn't have either, to be honest.
Yeah.
Gotta get one more part.
It's looking good, Matt. You got 3 minutes.
And counting down. So the hotlines for suicides tend to spike after celebrity suicide like this. So maybe we should do a plug. Like if you're having trouble, reach out, talk to someone you know and trust. It'll be okay. So that is a matte box for your lens mat?
Yeah.
And did that come with the shoulder rig?
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about that. I apparently actually bought like the wrong matte box.
Oh, really?
So So the shoulder rig is right. Like the shoulder rig itself is right. And then I also ordered like this kind of like cage thing that it like comes with a mat box. It comes with like a handle cage. It comes with a the follow focus, and apparently it was for a different Canon camera, but I didn't understand. Like, so I have like this cage that came with it, and like I'm pretty sure I probably could have saved like $200 if I just read the like, which is like really irresponsible of me, but I mean everything works just fine. So like pretty much I like there's like this I have like a cage that's meant for it's like the Canon XC10, which is like it's almost like the Canon's version of a GoPro, but it's a little bit chunkier. It's like it's like a box. It's about like that big.
Okay.
And it looks a lot like a C100 when you take the handlebar and the mic. When you take the mic and the side handle thing off, it looks a lot like a C100. So when I saw that on B&H, I was like, oh, that must be just like some kind of weird acronym they give the model and stuff. So, but it works fine. So I was just like,
I'm gonna show an image of it. We'll see if this works. So,
of what?
I'm gonna show the XC10 and then your camera, the C100. If my web browser decides to start working. I'm covering your face, Tyler. Oh yeah, so that's it. That is a micro camera. I didn't know that existed. It's cool.
There's my
XC10.
The XC10's like the micro camera, yeah. It looks a lot like Black Magic's micro camera. So are you all set up, Matt?
almost.
I'm gonna pop up an image.
You gotta adjust the fabric on the mat box.
Ooh, look at those dollars, boy. So this is what we're looking at here. The C100.
Mark II, right?
Dollar bling, y'all. Professional camera. Hire Matty D Damiano. Professional videographer. At gmail.com.
So one more time, that's Matt D, Damiano, professional videographer at gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's sick,
No
dude.
special character. Yeah, that looks great. I like the follow focus thing. Can't wait to drop it when I mean, mess with it. Wow.
Damn.
I think that's a beast of a...
Is there a glass pane in the matte box?
What?
It almost looks like there's like a lens on the matte box. Or is there
Nope.
not? Okay.
And the thing is, this is an offset.
Oh, okay.
Folder rig. So it's like, it moves. It's like right in front of my face, so I don't have to get like an external or extra monitor.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
And
Does that mess with the weight distribution of like having the weights up to the side? Does it feel like it,
No,
like...
I have no weights in the back.
Oh, are you going to get some?
I probably should, but I'm also like a beast, so like I can.
Right. Well, I mean, ideally, like, if a nice shoulder rig, I guess, is supposed to be able that you can just like kind of like not let go, but like almost let go, and
Yeah.
the camera's not going to fall.
Yeah.
But then it puts more weight on your shoulder. So I mean, it's kind of a matter of like having really tired arms or having a tired shoulder.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's about like maybe like 30 pounds, I think, which is kind of a lot, but
It's
that's a
hefty,
lot for
but
like an 8-hour shoot.
yeah. Well, I'm probably gonna look online for I. Here's the thing. I also have I should just show you. I have like these. My grandmother gave me like these weights that are for like your ankles and wrists and stuff that you like strap on and like you. They have like Velcro and stuff. And like when I first got this thing, I was like, yeah, I should get like a counterweight. But then I just like Velcroed. I like wrapped them around and Velcroed them to the back, and like they kind of work. They're about like 10 pounds, so like it kind of takes the weight off my arms, but.
I thought you were going a totally different direction with that. I thought you were going to say that you started wearing them around your wrists. That when you got when you were doing stuff around your apartment, and that when you finally got your shoulder rig, your arms were just like so strong, just carrying me.
You just
Grandma
walk
weights
down the
around.
street with your arms in front of you. Yeah, that's a nice rig. I wanted to get a shoulder rig for my camera, but I settled with like a big handle. Sorry.
What'd you say?
I have a shoulder rig. I said your lens looks really dirty up close.
Does it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at all the smudges.
Fuck you. There's no smudge. You're so bullshit.
No, I swear to goodness.
You're so full of shit.
All right.
The shoulder rig was a smart idea because I rented the Ronin, and like everybody's opinions online were like contradicting each other. So I had to make sure that like before I buy it, like I should rent it out. And
Yeah.
I'm really happy that I rented it and didn't like dump pretty much $2,000 down the drain into something that I was probably never going to use. So instead of like, and I was like this close to buying a Ronin, and like I probably would have been kicking myself had I done that.
How much is
How
a
much did your
Ronin?
Well, like the Ronin that I probably would have needed is like 1,500 to $2,000. This thing was about like I think like all together, like with everything, with like the follow focus and the matte box and the shoulder rig, it's about $2,000, but or like close to it.
You go on B&H?
Yeah, B&H. I'm like their #1 customer right now. I was about to buy batteries too, like, and some SD cards.
I haven't used my camera in a little bit.
Does that take regular SD cards, or is it special?
I get like the high speed whatever.
I think
really nice.
maybe it's Panasonic. Like someone like started using like new memory cards or something, and they're ridiculously expensive. That's cool though. Yeah, it looks good, dude. So have you shot like done a real shoot with it yet?
I've done some things with it, yeah.
Cool.
And like every week I like work with Chloe on our routine and or like for the video, and like I got some like really cool shots with it. So it's more organic than a tripod, and it's like I don't know, like overall I'm just like very happy with it.
Do you find that you need to do like auto stabilize and After Effects or something afterwards, or not really?
No, I mean actually, like I've gotten like I use my camera so much now that it's I can go handheld and be pretty steady. Like I just know how to like walk with cameras now. It's a lot of like heel toe movement.
Just roll.
Yeah.
Roll your foot, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to shoot some handheld stuff just because I never had enough money to buy like a nice tripod. I still don't have enough money to buy a nice tripod, but even any tripod. Like so, some of my first couple weddings were all handheld, and a lot of the stuff I did for this week
a video of a video, but this is what I shot so far with Chloe. I actually did like the first thing wrong, but there's like a whole walking up sequence with her, and I had her head cut off.
Oh, this is test footage?
Yeah. This shot's handheld. It's all like really.
I can tell your cell phone's handheld, that's for sure.
I'll try to be steady.
It's like an unstabilized camera recording the footage of an unstabilized camera. No, I mean, from what I can tell, it looks pretty smooth.
Yeah, it looks good.
Well, this is my hand. Like, the the shot in Premiere is my handheld.
Right. The lighting is trash though, so I can't wait to see. Like, you're gonna light the shoot, right?
Yeah, no, and we're in a black box theater, so it's gonna be nothing but black around her, and then only she's gonna be lit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
And the song hasn't even started playing. Like, the song starts right about.
No.
Is that really loud?
Yeah, a little bit. So you have it planned out shot for shot for shot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is the lighting gonna follow with her, like a spotlight type lighting? Like, do you need someone to man the lighting the whole time?
That's Tyler's job.
Congratulations, Tyler.
We're gonna have to go over some of this. No, this is helpful for me seeing this. Are you gonna export this and upload it, Matt, as like a test run, so I can kind of think about some different lighting stuff?
And then I think this is where
He ignored you.
yeah, she screwed. Well, she didn't screw up there. Actually, I think I screwed up there. But no, okay. So, there's not gonna be like a spotlight. I mean, like there's gonna be. So it's a black box theater.
3-point lighting.
Huh?
3-point lighting.
Well, there's gonna be a light coming from above down onto her, and it's gonna hit her, and that will be like the main
The key light.
It will be the key light, yeah. And then Tyler, you're gonna use my lights and Andrew's lights, which is about you'll have 5 lights to play with, and
Andrew Baker's lights?
Yeah, I have
My
his
real
lights.
crappy ones.
Oh, okay.
You've used them before, though, at least.
Yeah. Why does Matt have those?
I gave them to him because I didn't want to pack them into my car.
You didn't give me anything. I wanted your black magic.
Well, I packed that into my car. If you
Never
want,
did
you can
anything
have
with
one of
footage.
Matt's lights. But you guys got to settle
All right.
that out of court.
Deal.
Okay.
I'll take one.
But yeah, so I think it's gonna be a really fun day, because it's gonna be you and me, and then pretty much friends, making something look good, looking as good as possible as we can. But a question I have about I guess film lighting is you're allowed to change where lights go, right? It doesn't have to be exactly the same every single time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it depends on what you're going for. If you're going for a narrative film, then you're not going to want to change the angle of the sun and stuff like that for continuity.
Yeah.
But if you're in a black room, there's
Yeah.
the viewer doesn't know which way you're shooting or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm thinking for this, it's gonna be lighting her in a dynamic way rather than a static way, Like,
Well, that first shot. I mean, I'm just for example, like that first shot where like pedestals up.
yeah,
Like you could have something where like the light actually moves across her or something like, or like behind her type thing, like on top, but like, just there's a lot of different like we
yeah,
can just where we backlight her really harsh and you just kind of see the outline of her,
yeah.
or like Rembrandt, like very high contrast, like you only see half of her face type thing.
In my head, it's gonna be very high contrast and like some silhouetting, uh, and then like just yeah, like deep shadows and like hard kind of. Well,
I
actually,
mean, we could even do one or two of the shots that you like or whatever that are like more static shots with different type of lighting setups. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like we could have this, and then you can determine which shot you want to use
yeah.
after.
You know the location, right? So you can go there and test it out and stuff.
He rented it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't. But there's like a billion free locations. Why did you want to? Just because like not you didn't want to find another black room?
Well, no, it was the lighting grid. Like they had a
Oh, so you'll
like
have access to a lot of lights and stuff.
yeah, they'll have control of the room. Whereas like I looked at like another place that was like a garage, and it's like number one, the place was kind of creepy, and his lighting setup sucked, and I was kind of I would have been scared if I was a woman like dancing there. Whereas like the community folk art center, it's like yeah, like it kind of it was a little expensive, but like it's a safe place, like it's professional, and they have a good lighting grid. So like it was like kind of like a tough choice I had to make, but I want this.
How much was it for 6 hours?
$275.
That's seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah. That's cool. I think it'll go pretty well.
I mean, like I'm gonna unfortunately probably gonna be a dick that day because
No, you're going to be the director. I mean,
I know.
that's your job. That's all good.
like we're gonna just have to like everything that you just watched took us an hour.
Right.
But it was also only me. I had no help, and it was just like me and Chloe.
It'll be
so
a lot of feeling stuff out as fast as possible.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like on the fly. But I think we can do it. I think I'm like, I just need my head on straight that day, and I think like, I don't know. I'm gonna like just be as helpful as I can for you when you're doing lighting, because you're gonna be my lighting guy, Tyler.
Just make sure you get like a backup, kind of like a B-roll. So like if you don't get every single shot that you want, you at least have something you can go back to.
We're gonna do the routine on a tripod, like wide, static, like it's like just for safety.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just gonna be like purposeful.
That's cool. That sounds kind of fun, like pretty artistic.
Yeah, I figure like there's literally there's in Syracuse right now they're producing, I think they just finished shooting. It's called Sushi Tushi. And they just filmed that at the Film Hub, and my friend Mike told me that it was like the most racist thing he ever like worked on.
Oh.
It was like a year ago. Mike Buchard said he like they did like a kind of like a beta shoot, like a test shoot for some like trailer shots, and he did sound for it, and it was like a movie about sumo wrestlers in American football. And he just said it was like really racist, like when he was like, this is so fucked up. And they're shooting it in Syracuse. And it's like that's the kind of shit that's being produced in Syracuse right now. So something has to have some kind of integrity. And
I mean, they want to make it a film hub, so be the change, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Start producing some little indie films, and yeah, I think that's awesome. I can't wait to be part of it too. Like,
Maybe
I'm
watch.
excited.
For some reason, Black Swan keeps popping into my head. Maybe you
Yeah.
can get some cool shot ideas from it, though.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
I was scared of that movie, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna watch it.
Shot, we can just do a shot for shot remake of it.
Scare Matt on set.
I told Chloe that we should do a take where I do the dance. Like,
Just
Like
like
in a,
subliminally
in a-
insert like one frame every once in a while of Matt doing the dance.
director's cut.
Director's butt.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you guys want to wind up our
Yeah.
hour?
Surprisingly, we went like a full hour anyway.
We went a full hour and 1 minute right now. So yeah, let's wind it up. Thanks guys for watching. Do you have any closing remarks you guys want to say? Well, we're looking forward to see how your project unfolds, Matt. It sounds awesome, and we hope that you guys tune in next week for our next technical difficulties. See what those are. And
I always enjoy speaking with you guys, and the hour goes quick. So
It does
I'm
go
looking
quick.
forward to.
I
Can I
still have
just say-
topics. It does go quick.
What do you
My-
want?
My
What do you
sign
want
is
to say, Matt?
gonna be Stay Classy San Diego or San Francisco.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna cut it right there. Oh wait, don't you have a drawing you want to show us, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah, I was thinking I could send a picture of it, use it too, but here it is.
Okay.
Wait. You made Andrew look like. Where's me?
Wait, which one am I? Am I the big one?
All right, hang on.
Why is mine just my chest hair?
That's how you were for half of it. All right, here we go. All right, ready? I'm gonna send you what you guys look like, and then I'm gonna show you the drawing again. Do you have the screenshot pulled up?
Give me a second.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I'll just edit it in. Whatever.
Yep.
Andrew's is like the best.
Oh, it's popping up.
It's
anyways.
pretty much Andy.
It's pretty much me.
And then there's Matt.
I like Matt's. It's just like him eating his like Panera.
No, he's not even eating. He's just like leaning. And then I'm like a grandma.
Yeah,
you
you-
look like Bobby Young.
Yours looks kind of creepy.
I'm not good at self-portraits.
You look like a Jewish mother.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do in real life too.